Hi everybody, let's have a look at some ways that you can come up with your design for your drawing at home this week. So the first technique is a trace and transfer technique. If you've got a printer at home, print off the images that you want to work with. So I'm just using baking paper here. I've done my outline of my bird and I'm just freehanding this eyepiece that's on my cat because I like that. I'm then just using my printouts of my different steampunk designs to then trace into the areas of my bird where I feel that they fit. I'm not doing a lot of great detail, I'm really just doing some circles and some basic lines because I'm going to refine this drawing more once I've transferred it to the surface that I will actually be drawing on. So just go through your printouts. You might need to print them in different sizes depending upon how big or small your bird is and also how big your printouts are. So I found some of them were a bit big, so I had to redo some of them. If you don't have tracing paper, another way you can do this is tracing directly off your screen, but only do this if you're on a tablet, an iPad or an iPhone. Don't use the screen on your laptops unless it is a touch screen to trace from, because you can do a lot of damage to your screen. Okay, so just be very careful, but you can trace directly from those harder touch screens on your devices as well. Another way that you can come up with your initial design is using collage. So once again, this is a technique that you will need to use if you have a printer and you can print out your images, and it's just basically cutting up all of the different elements that you like and placing them together and then playing around with their layout and their placement in relation to your bird or your animal, whatever it is that you're doing this week, and then gluing it down. And you can see that I have played with a few different elements, I've placed them in different areas, and I've also cut out parts of my bird in some areas from my background as well. Once you've got your collage together, we're just going to trace it. So the same as what we did in the technique just prior to this video. Okay, so transferring our tracing to our drawing surface is just a case of taking a pencil. So here I'm using a 6B pencil, but you can use a colour pencil, HB 6B, any of those, just to scribble on the back of your tracing and then turn it over onto your drawing surface. Here I'm just using a paper bag from the shop and I'm just pressing over my lines. Once again, I'm not doing a lot of detail because I will refine my drawing on my drawing surface itself. This is just about getting those outlines and the initial design in place so that I know where everything goes. So you can see here that I've transferred my design from my tracing paper onto my drawing surface. It is a very light mark on there, so I do need to work back into it before I add my value and shading onto it. There will be quite a number of you who are very capable and very confident to be able to do your work freehand. So do that if you are able to. It is the quickest and easiest way to do it. And you can see here that to get my cogs and my gears, I'm just using circular objects around the house. I'm using a compass and I'm really just filling up my space with those circles and then designing them a little bit more. I am using visual references, so I'm looking at images that I've printed off or that are on my screen to look at the shapes that are within those cogs and those gears. So freehand is definitely a way that you can do this, and that way you can work directly onto any surface that you want to draw on as well. Okay, so to recap, Freehand your drawing if you are confident and capable of doing it this way. Work directly on your drawing surface, whatever that might be. Option 2 is to do a collage first up, so print off what you can and then collage it all together, and then you can use the trace and transfer technique, or use the trace technique to work from your screen or your printouts and then transfer that to your working surface, so whether that be your brown paper, some cardboard, whatever it is that you're working on.